Okay, now I'm going to start off with making a new design, recording design to make videos in OBS from scratch, and from making a new scene collection to a profile, making a new profile, coming up from nowhere. So, or coming up from scratch. Now, automatically, when you go into OBS, setting up a new scene and all that, it's going to ask you what do you want to do with this new scene or this new setup, an auto configuration with it. Yeah, I want to optimize just for recording. I will not be streaming. And it sets it up my default or my current screen size, so it's going to be my canvas size, and either 60 or 30 FPS, but prefer 60 when possible. You can select different things. Let's see, next, and then it'll tell you the program has determined that these estimates are ideal for you, and you apply the settings. Now that's going to be in the profiles. That's a profile we're setting up now, not a scene, and not a scene collection. I think OBS overuses the word scene a lot, personally. Now I'm in my profile. I'm named it Start One, but it's by the default. And I go down to Settings. It's going to be the settings for that profile. Appearance, the stream, if you're going to set up a stream, your output, your audio, what kind of audio you have. And this is important. In global audio devices, you want to enable at least your mic auxiliary audio, because that's your microphone. So I'm going to do that, microphone. Setting up a mic. And I could also set up my desktop audio, whatever else. But the basic one you need, got to be your microphone. And apply that. When you're talking video, it's pretty much what it just, the auto configuration wizard just set up. And my output's important because that's the recording. That's how everything is going to be recorded. And high quality, medium sized file, whatever you want. How many audio tracks you're going to have. What encoder you're going to be using. And so forth. And then if you want to get more advanced with it, you can get into advanced, output mode advanced, and selectively set up in the recording tab everything you need to set up. The bit rates and the max bits rate, what kind of write control you're going to have. All this you can set up yourself. Once you got that set up, you apply it, say okay, out the scene. Now, first thing I do always is make a new scene named blank, or empty, or start, whatever you want. And I move that up to the top. And that's because everything else I'm doing in my recording, in my scene collection, and of the scene that we're creating, that's for creating a scene collection. I want to be able to put my focus on blank. There's nothing in here at all. Nothing in here at all. And so once I add things to my scene, every time I go to transition into my scene, all that stuff gets on the screen, becomes active. So we've made our the first thing we're going to do is create a scene. And that's the scene of the crime, the scene on the screen. And we need a source for that, so we're going to add our video capture device, which, name it whatever you want, but it's cam. It's your cam or your phone or whatever. And there I am. And so I can set it up any way I want. And my microphone's going here now because we set it up in the profile. And if we didn't have that enabled in the profile, it wouldn't be doing this. I'm smoking, by the way, because I'm tired. So that's our video capture device. Now I'm doing this externally. I'm using an external program to record this because I didn't have my cam inside of OBS yet. So now I'm going to switch over to that and enable this and start recording in OBS so I can show you what's going on in OBS. So now we have our video capture device set up here. Under this scene. It's not under blank, it's under this scene. Notice blank, nothing on the screen. That's why I like to start. Anyway, we're down the scene. We've added our video capture device. Now these are the little tricks I learned playing with OBS to get things to do what I need them to do. Now I want to put my logos in here. I want to set my screen up to have all the stuff on it that I want to have on it. The outlines and the logos and whatever else. Now I'm doing a basic one here, so I'll show you how I did this. I'm going to go with, I can go ahead with an image or a media source, whatever I want, but I'm going to go ahead and put in a color source. Color source 1 or whatever. And I can select the color. Now I'm going to go ahead with, I don't know, green. Okay, and that creates this box. Now I can resize this box and do different things with it. I'm resizing. Now I want to go back to this. Now I'm going to hold down my Alt key while I do this little red box. I have a little red box at the bottom of this. And I've just made my line. I made a line across the top. And I'm going to add a different color source. A new color source. And I'm going to make it yellow. And then I'm going to hold my key down, my Alt key down again, and bring this over here. Resize it a little bit, whatever I want to do. Or put in a logo. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a, I don't know, an image. Now I could put a logo, whatever else I want on there. And I could go ahead and select something. Oh, it doesn't really matter. It could be anything. I could do a lot of different things. I'm going to go ahead and put this little guy. I'm going to put him down at my bottom of my screen. Resize him a little bit, but you know, this basic one I got. Put him down there. So now I've got this, and this is my general screen layout. This isn't enhanced or anything, but it's basic. Now I'm going to add another, I don't know, another image. I don't really care. Something, blah, blah, outline, circle, whatever I want. And I browse that, and I can go screenshots with the different things. And then I'm going to go with overlays or something. Oh, overlays. I got this one. I got this document here with this image here, and I can resize it. Just make sure once you get your camera or something set up properly, exactly, and you don't ever want it to move from that position, lock it, and then it won't accidentally get moved around. So, outline circle, and I can do this, and I can resize it, bring it up, do whatever I want, whatever. This is my layout, my basic layout, or whatever. And once I get exactly where I need it to go, and I'm not going to be moving it, I can lock it, and then it'll never get moved around. I don't want to do that yet. So that's what I'm doing with this scene. Now, once I get it all set up the way I want it to look, the way I want it to be, the way I need it to be, for my overall look of my general recordings, and I can have multiple ones of these, with different layouts that can be moved around and whatever else. So, what I've done here is I've set this up. I've set this up this way. Now, some people will group these sources together, so they'll hide them, logos, etc., as an example, so they can minimize them and not see them, in this whole thing. But you don't have to do that exactly. So I'm going to ungroup those. Once you've got this scene set up nicely, you've got your borders, your outlines, your frames, whatever you want, your logos, you go ahead and duplicate the scene. Right click, duplicate, and I would put in something like logo, borders, or logos and outlines or borders or whatever you want. So now this scene and this scene are the same thing. But what am I going to do here? I want to be able to change things here and see it exactly as it is. So at this point, I'm going to hide my video capture device. That little eye there. I'd never recommend deleting your video capture device because you can't add it back after what I'm about to do. Now I've gone to my scene, and I'm going to take all the outlines and the circles and the logos, and I'm going to delete them. So I've got this bare screen. Where are my logos and all that? Well, I'm going to add them. I'm going to add a scene and its logos and outline. So whenever I need to edit my logos and outlines and move them around in my basic screen design, I would edit it in here and have all these things listed down. I could reorder them or move them around, or begin the process of using an add-on or something to animate them. But here, my main scene, I don't want all that stuff. Everything the list can get too long. and too much stuff in there, because you will add a lot of things over time, probably. And you want to have some effects that are hard to see within this little framework. Okay, now I have my scene set up the way I want it. And every time I want to change my my logos or my screen outlay, design or whatever, I can do it right here. And if I want to see exactly how it looks, I can just unmute, open my eye to the cam. Now once I have everything set up the way I need it, my video captured by, I don't want to ever have that move on the screen, so I lock it. And if I've got my outline set up perfectly, I lock it. Use this little lock. And then this basic thing never accidentally gets moved around. I know I'm taking the long approach to this, the slow approach, but I want to show you why. Anytime I want to edit my layout, I can do it. I can duplicate this. Now I have a secondary one. And I'm going to go ahead and move this here. This here. Okay, now notice this logos and outlines too. I'm going to add a new scene here. Logos and outlines too. So they're both on the screen. I can switch between them by simply using this eye. Live. Or to have none. Or one or the other. I can even do it the same way with my borders and my frames and whatever else set up in one extra scene, and my logos and pictures and whatever in a different one, and add those. And so I can always keep my border and change just the logo or the visuals on the screen. Here I go, I'm going to add an image. Doesn't matter what. Shower caddy. Shower caddy. I'm going to resize that. Put that here. Go back to my scene. And here I am. La 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 la. And now, la 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 la. Got that on there. That shows you where you can do different things and not overload the scene sources. Now I want to talk about your audio mixer. Everything you do in this scene collection, that's what it is. Blank scene, X logos 2 is a scene collection that you name or rename or whatever you want, or you can duplicate from, make a copy, duplicate, change the name, change things, make it different each time, make it different for each season, make it a little different for every video. But what I want to talk about was the audio mixer. Anything you have in here is part of this scene collection. What's going on in this audio mixer is not specifically, when I'm talking about my global mic or desktop, my global thing, it's going to be anything that's listed as global, it's going to be in the audio mixer. But if I wanted to add something else like a media source, a movie or something. Oh, let's go to videos and let's go to this and let me resize this. So I'm going to transform this and fit to my screen and change it. I wanted to show you this. So you notice now in this scene, not in blank, not in logos, but in scene, because my media source is in this one part of my scene collection. The scene is now listed here. And it controls what I'm doing. So all my settings for this is related to this. Now, if I add that same media source to a different scene, it would add it unless I duplicated it. But if I put a new one in there, they would each have their own settings. So, it would not have the same filters. I'm going to show you that right now. If I go down, let's say I'm at my scene, I have my media source, I'm adding a filter. Let's say I'm adding a 3-band equalizer. There you go. I've added a 3-band equalizer to it. Now I'm going down to my logos. I'm adding a media source. You want to name them, of course. I'm going to put this screen real quick. Resize this. I just want to show this. Here's the media source in this different scene. Now you noticed I added the filter 3-band equalizer, but it's not in this one. If I was doing different things and I wanted sounds from that, I would have to add it to each one. Filters. It's a 3-band equalizer. So there we go with that. So always remember that you have your global audio source that when you're recording is always going on. If you want to mute it, you don't want it to go through, or you just want to hear it, and I'll show you this. Go to Advanced Properties for something, and if you were to select Monitor Only, Mute Output, you would hear it. You would hear it in your headphones or hear it off your speakers, but it wouldn't be recorded. And that is a useful tool, especially when you're running videos, processing, added a different video and you want to hear what was going on. Say you recorded this video, and I want to voice over this video. So I can make this video and just point at things and do things and suggest things and not really talk too much or at all and voice over that. But I could hear my cues coming from the video. And that's really the simple way, basic way to get everything under control and ready for making your standard videos. Now I've switched over to a different setup where you can see that I've got blank, intro, scene cam, display capture, and all that, logo intermissions. So you can see that I've got on my screen, I've got my logos at the top. I've got me in my scene, so I start off at blank, and and it transitions to intro. I use a hotkey for that, by the way. And then it plays my intro and the music, and then it moves to the scene, my recording scene. And then it moves to the end screen with my end logo and music at the end. So that's how you do it. It's very, very simple to do. Create the basic design, duplicate it, rename it, get rid of the filler material, all the logo stuff from the main scene, which is your cam. It should really be your cam. Add the scenes from your logos and all that to that, and then you can edit them and change those logos independently and never mess with your main outline. And then you can duplicate them, change the images to something else. And because if you lock the let's say you have an image and you lock the image, you can still change the image, but it will retain the position and the size and where it is on the screen. So that helps. So then you can animate, do whatever else you want. It's very simple to do and very basic to do. And there we go. Very basic. And if I want to turn off my logos, I can do so very easily. Turn them back on. It's a very easy thing to do. And it's organized well, and you won't mess up your main design. Create your perfect design, a template, and then when you go to scene collection, duplicate when you're in it, duplicate it, and then rename it to something else, current week, current project, Christmas, Halloween, Easter, whatever, or bad day, good day, cat day. Anyway, that's the basics of it, and I hope it helps some of you get an idea of how to begin. And once you get organized and do this, you'll be able to figure out a lot more about what you can do with OBS, which is a very powerful and very free software. Talk to you again later. Take care.